down. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Break it down.
Well, after what happened last week against the Ravens, the Lions needed to come out and they needed to win this game against the Raiders, and in a must-win game, the Lions once again come in clutch and do what they needed to do on Monday Night Football in primetime in front of the nation. First time I think in 6 years that we've done a Victory Tuesday, because I think the last time the Lions won on Monday Night Football was all the way back in 2017. When the Lions beat the Packers in Lambeau Field. So yeah, it's been a while since we've had a Monday night win. But yeah, Lions against the Raiders. You know, it wasn't an impressive double-digit win like we've seen in the past. It was more sloppy, because the Lions were incredibly sloppy, especially on offense. Like the main reason the Lions won this game 100% was the defense. This was a defensive double-digit win. Like, even though the Lions lost the turnover battle, you know, it was still impressive that they still won by 12 points despite losing the turnover battle. Mainly because the Lions' defense did a damn good job holding the Raiders to 7 points. Because the other 7 points was off a pick six that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, defense came to play. You know, just the defense shut Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders' offense down. You know, even getting 6 sacks to him, so they got some good pressure there, too. You know, a good bounce-back win after what happened last week. Yeah, the Lions' offense, though, the offense was incredibly sloppy. Like, honestly, I'll be honest, the Lions should have won by at least 20. But there was a lot of bad play calling in this game from Ben Johnson, especially in the red zone. Because at least 2 of the red zone field goals the Lions got, 2 of them should have been touchdowns, but they didn't get in the end zone because of bad play calling. I don't know what the fuck it is with Ben Johnson trying to be cute in the red zone. Like, honestly, just call the fucking place right and punch it in for 6. And the pick 6 there from Marcus Peters, that's just a lesson of what happens when you play fuck around and find out. Because Ben Johnson fucked around a lot in this game, and then that pick 6 got through to Marcus Peters. That was Ben Johnson finding out. And notice how Ben Johnson stopped being cute after that pick 6. Kids, let that be a lesson to you all. Never play fuck around and find out. It's a game you never win. Yeah, especially the offensive line even played fuck around and find out too with a couple of the plays Max Crosby made. Mainly the plays where Crosby was left unguarded. It's like, yeah, offensive line, that's what happens when you fuck around and find out. Especially that one jet sweep they did to J-Mo, where J-Mo never really got a chance with the ball and got blown up instantly by Crosby. Yeah, because Crosby was left unguarded. Yeah, what did you think was going to happen when you leave Max Crosby on guard? Not like he's been the second best pass rusher in the league this year behind Hutchinson in QB pressures. Like, good lord. Like, the fact that they left him unguarded for a number of plays was kind of asinine. But, yeah, despite that, though, you know, Lions also did their job, you know, with the run game, you know, running the ball for over 200 yards. With 152 rushing yards going to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs had his career game. He had his legacy game tonight against the Raiders. So, very good game to see out of Jahmyr Gibbs, you know, back at, you know, having his career game, proving why he was worthy of a 12th overall pick. So, hats off to him. You know, hey, just took some time for him to adjust, but I think once he starts getting comfortable now, I think you're going to see more of these type of games out of Jahmyr Gibbs in the future. But yeah, Jahmyr was just an absolute fucking beast. Like, the Lions controlled time of possession and just ran the ball down the Raiders' throat. Like, hell, Jahmyr Gibbs in the game against the Raiders, he had more total yards than the entire Raiders offense combined. Ooh. So yeah, Lions did everything they needed to establish the run game and, you know, kept the defense fresh. And then the defense did their job to stop Jimmy Garoppolo and that Raiders offense. Even though there was a couple questionable ref calls because he had Clete Blakeman, the con man that always tries to rob the Lions every time he officiates the game. But he tried to rob the Lions in this game throughout the game. Especially that third turnover the Lions had, which shouldn't have been a turnover, because Reynolds' knee was fucking down before Crosby ripped the ball out. Like, he was fucking down. The knee was clearly down. But he found every excuse to try and screw the Lions over. But hey, you know, whatever. You know, the Lions play by Crosby's rules. And they still came out on top in the end. Like, it was a sloppy win from the Lions. You know, pretty sloppy. But, you know, it's probably one of the worst double-digit wins I've seen from the Lions in my entire life. Like, I've never seen a double-digit win as sloppy as that. But hey, at the end of the day, a win's a win. At the end of the day, I'll take it. But, you know, the Lions need to be better at play calling. Like, Ben Johnson needs to learn to stop fucking around and finding out. Like, call it fucking properly. But, man, just, you know, even Sam Laporta had some good moments, too. Sam Laporta continues to be having a great rookie campaign as a tight end. But yeah, just, you know, even though it was a sloppy win, the Lions did their job. They did what they were supposed to do against the Raiders. And they got the win. Even though it was incredibly sloppy as all hell, you know, they still got the job done against the Raiders, which is all you need to see. And Ford Field was loud as hell. You know, I liked a lot of Halloween costumes there were, because Halloween is Tuesday, which is the day I'm recording this video. And there was some pretty good costume there. You know, he had a lot of fans dressed up as Dan Campbell. One dressed up as Alex Anzalone. And Anzalone has really had a monster fucking season. He continued it with another great dominant performance tonight. Just an absolute, you know, even though it was a dominant win effectively for the Lions with the rush game and how the defense shut the Raiders down and time of possession and everything, you know, it was probably it was a sloppy dominant win. Because to be honest, even though the Lions won by 12, they should have won by more. But, you know, hey, you know, they did their job. You know, they did what they needed to do despite it. You know, they didn't let those sloppy mistakes come back to haunt them. You know, every time they made a mistake, they bounced right back. Which is all you really could ask for. So yeah, Lions get the win, and they effectively now have the division locked up at 6-2 now, because, you know, the Vikings, they were starting to gain some traction, and it's gone because of Kirk Cousins getting that injury. And I feel bad for Kirk Cousins there, because that was a bad luck injury, because that was a non-contact injury at Lambeau Field, and that was a grass field, not a turf field. So even though grass fields are a preferred playing field to be on, you know, it's still not the safest. And, you know, it still produces injuries. And that was a weird injury from Cousins, because that was a non-contact and he tore the Achilles after he planted his leg. Which, that's kind of bad luck there, considering how many times Cousins does that motion in the past. And just that one unlucky time where something broke and fucked up. You know, that's just brutal for him, you know. What speedy recovery to Kirk Cousins. You know, get well soon, Kirk. You know, wish you a good recovery. Come back soon, man. But, you know, yeah, the Vikings had potentially hoped to possibly steal the division from the Lions. And that hope went down with Kirk Cousins. Because we all know the Packers ain't it, because the Packers no longer have a Hall of Fame quarterback to bail them out. And the Chicago Bears ain't it either. I don't know why the fuck they were being buyers at the deadline. I think the main reason they were being buyers at the deadline was I think they were trying to prevent the Lions from getting Montez Sweat by all cost, by any means. Which is why they overpaid for Montez, getting a second-round pick. And that second-round pick is probably going to be a high second-round pick. It's literally the same thing they did with the Steelers to get Chase Claypool last year, and that backfired. Granted, Montez Sweat is a way better player than Chase Claypool, but still, it's the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You know, it's why, there's a reason why Chicago's in the fucking basement of the North. But yeah, with all that said, now at 6-2, it'll enter in the bye. This is now Detroit's division to lose. So, Detroit just got to keep their foot on the gas. Honestly, just keep piling the wins and just try and clinch the division early. And with the Lions win now, the Lions now move to second in an NFC because of San Francisco imploding the last 3 weeks. Jesus Christ, what is up with San Francisco? They looked like a very good team the first 5 weeks of the season. And out of the last 3 weeks, they've just found every conceivable way to shoot themselves in the foot. Good Lord. And now the Lions also are in a dogfight for the second seed with the Seahawks. Because during that San Francisco implosion the last 3 weeks, Seattle has done enough to sneak right past to take the division lead in the NFC West. And oh, by the way, Seattle has tiebreaker over Detroit because of that Week 2 loss to Seattle. Oh, god damn it. Is that Seahawks loss in Week 2 really going to come back to haunt the Lions again like it did last year? God damn it. Goddamn Seahawks being a goddamn fucking thorn in Detroit's side once again. Fuck you, Seattle. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, 6-2. The bye now next week, so honestly, a good thing the bye's next week because a lot of players have gotten banged up. So a good chance to get a week off, get some bodies healthy again. And then they're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for the game against the Chargers in LA. In which a game that I know for a fact will 100% be dominated by Lions fans. Because there are so many goddamn Lions fans that live out on the West Coast. And SoFi is just easily one of the best stadiums in fucking football right now. But we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. But yeah, Lions got the win right ahead of the trade deadline at 6-2. So yeah, a lot of things to like there for sure. But yeah, even though it was a sloppy win, still a win's a win at the end of the day. I'll take it. 6-2, on to the bye, and then on to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. And we tell the Chargers, no Chargers, no. But before we wrap this up, though, we are going to talk about the trade deadline, since the trade deadline also coincided with the Monday night game as well. So there are questions about would the Lions be buyers at the deadline or would they stand pat with what they got? A lot of fans have said that the Lions need to be buyers to be aggressive at the deadline, especially after that 32-point loss to the Ravens a couple weeks ago. So the Lions, did make a move. And that move was bringing in Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a 6th-round pick in 2025. And honestly, that 6th round, it's just a fucking late-round bag of chips. Because hitting on a late-round pick is the equivalent of trying to win the lottery in the NFL, since the draft is a total fucking crapshoot. But yeah, honestly, and to be honest, the Donovan Peoples-Jones move, I actually like the move. He's a solid acquisition. A good replacement for Marvin Jones. Since Marvin Jones got released earlier this week because of a tragedy in his family. So prayers to Marvin there. But yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones will be in to replace Marvin Jones. Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones, DPJ, is here to replace MJJ. Yeah, and this also means that, and since Donovan's more of a deep ball threat, this probably means that Jameson Williams is now officially on the hot seat, which it really isn't Jamo's fault. He just hasn't really had the time to develop because he missed a lot of last year with an injury, and he missed 4 games this year with that suspension. But, at some point, though, the excuses got to stop, and at some point, he's got to step up or step aside. But yeah, this will be probably J-Mo's now second get your shit together moment already within 2 years. I know a lot of Lions fans were upset because, there was the potential where he could have got Chase Young from the Commanders for a third-round pick, which he ended up going to San Francisco for a third-rounder. I don't know. Main reason teams like San Francisco and Philadelphia can go with the FDM pick strategy is because they already have their rosters already built from the ground up from the draft. Seattle has also done a good job, too. Like, I know a lot of fans are disappointed because the Lions added a receiver, and a lot of fans have said the receiver position is the least of the Lions' worries because the defense was the bigger concern following that game against the Ravens. While teams like the Eagles got better with Kevin Beard, and then the Seahawks got better with Leonard Williams. Even 49ers got better with the acquisitions of Chase Young and Randy Gregory. But really, to be honest, the Lions still did pretty well in terms of the NFC North still because Green Bay and Minnesota sold. And if Minnesota thinks that fucking Josh Dobbs, the tank commander from the Cardinals, is going to save their season, then they're fucking storing something there. But to be honest, though, there's a reason why Chase Young went for a third-round pick, and it's very simple. There's been, of course, on the screen is, of course, some of the main issues why, disciplinary issues, not staying to assignment. Like, to be honest, he wasn't a Dan Campbell guy. He didn't fit the culture. He didn't fit anything. And also the big issue here, which has been an issue with the Lions for how many years? And it's a big one. He's had issues staying healthy, injury prone. And let me be honest, it doesn't matter how fucking talented you are in this league. If you cannot stay healthy and take care of your body better, you will not last long in this league. Just look at Jeff Okudah with how injury prone he was in his tenure with Detroit. And until Detroit decided enough, and same deal with DeAndre Swift, until Detroit decided enough was enough and pulled the plug on both of them. Honestly, I don't blame Detroit for not going after him. Just didn't fit the culture. I'll be honest, I think the Lions probably wanted to go get Max Crosby, but probably the asking price was too steep. And I think the Lions wanted to probably get Montez Sweat too, but the Bears beat them to it. Because I guess Chicago just won't acknowledge the Lions yet. Don't worry. Chicago will once Detroit's done breaking their foot off in their ass in 2 weeks for War Week. Hell, the Lions we might have an easy time with War Week without a fan bases fighting each other. Between Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent. Because the Bears have no fucking clue what they're doing. And Montez Sweat is going to be a free agent in the offseason anyway. Same deal with Jalen Johnson. But yeah, even though the Lions did address somewhat of a need because of Marvin Jones' son family issues they had to address. Some people feel like it could have been more. I know, and it's also funny to watch fans overreact and call for Brad Holmes' head after the deadline. The funny and ironic thing was, the fan base was calling for Brad Holmes' head last year at the deadline when the Lions traded TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings. And look how that turned out. Because, the Lions have had a better record since the Vikings, since they traded Hawkinson. If anything, the Lions have been better since they traded Hawkinson. But yeah, even though Brad Holmes has been a solid GM, especially with the draft and everything, it seems like the Lions are staying the course with the plan and going to still continue to try and build in the draft. I think it's kind of safe to say that maybe Brad Holmes has a kink in his armor in terms of trading and all that. Because I think that might be his one flaw as a GM is trading. He's as good of a GM as Steve Eisman. The difference is Steve Eisman knows how to fleece a damn team. But, I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, another receiver that Goff can get, another weapon for Goff. And another wrinkle in the offense that Ben Johnson can work with on the offense. Maybe Donovan will help Ben Johnson not fuck around and find out too much in play calling. Time will tell there. But, I'm all right with what the Lions did, it takes time, there's no need to throw all your chips in when you're not ready. It's been pretty clear the Lions aren't ready to compete yet. Like I said, my expectations are still the same, which is win a division and win a playoff game. Anything else after those two things are accomplished is a bonus. Honestly, I'd rather build and be competitive and have more shots at the championship than just throw all my chips in for one run. In this offseason will be big, though, especially if Ben Johnson surely is going to go get a head coaching job somewhere if the right job pops up. But yeah, I think that just wraps it up here. Honestly, I think it's a good thing the bye is this week. Let's all just take a breath and cool down, relax, trust in the great Detroit master plan, and come back refreshed for the Chargers in 2 weeks. But hey, at least during this bye week, at least we got the Red Wings and the Pistons to distract us while we catch our breath real quick. As the Red Wings are starting to get it back on track. The Pistons, still work in progress. But yeah, on to the bye. Only NFL vid I'm going to have this week is the picks, of course. And then, of course, I'll have the Red Wings and Pistons recap this weekend. But anyway, though, I'm out.